What's up? We're gonna hit some spinal, some isos. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to make YouTube videos. I don't know how to commentate. So yeah, we're just gonna go head first into it and just kind of get a little bit of some raw and unfiltered long form content. So let's get into it. All right, so first thing we're gonna start with is just some spinal moves and do some rotations, and then I'm also gonna do some lateral flexions and then maybe some flexion extension. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm just gonna do like 1 minute of each one. All right, so I'm just gonna start with some rotations. I'm gonna go nice and slow, try to get a bunch of range on the first couple of reps, and then as I progress into the time, I'm gonna do it a little bit faster. Oh, side cramp, that feels great. Oh yeah, double side cramp, fuck yeah. All right, now I'm just gonna spin a little faster, just kind of get some grease in the spine. All right, next thing we're gonna do just some lateral flexion. I'm gonna do the same sort of deal here. I'm gonna start nice and slow, and then I might speed it up towards the end. First couple reps, really trying to get as much range of motion as possible. More slow. And maybe just some nice smooth back and forth. Alright, that's enough of that. Okay, so for the next thing, we're gonna do some spinal flexion extension. I'm not on an elevated surface, so I can't really hold it like this, so I'm gonna go with the Zercher grip just so I can get more range of motion. I'm gonna tuck the chin, go down into some flexion. At the bottom, extend the neck, go into some extension, do this a couple times, then we'll get into some isos. To really get the most out of any spinal hygiene, anything, you may have seen like Tommy John's spinal hygiene, you're not just passively going into these movements, you're really pulling yourself and pushing yourself as hard as you can. So once I reach that bottom position of the flexion, I'm tightening my abs as much as I possibly can. Then when I go into extension, I'm extending every single possible muscle in my back to really get a good squeeze. All right, iso time. All right, so I got my stopwatch here. First iso we're gonna do is just a javelin hold, so just a single arm overhead barbell hold. I'm thinking 2 minutes each side, and then maybe do another set if I need to, but I'm not sure. This is a 55-pound bar, so it's a little heavier than a normal one. So yeah, let's try it. You're wondering why I'm doing this? It's kind of the same thing as a single arm hang, obviously the opposite. So I'm holding something above my head instead of supporting my own body weight. But I think it's definitely a good thing to do for the shoulders as well as hanging. I also want to focus on not letting my shoulder get depressed right here. I want to keep it elevated, keep a straight line through my arm. I don't want to get lazy and start like bending like this. I'm going to try to stay as stiff as I possibly can. All right, coming up on a minute. Probably do 2 minutes, and then we're going to switch arms. A good methodology of when you're doing isos is to focus on your breathing and try to do at least twice as long of an exhale as your inhale. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out. Just to try to trick your body into thinking that you're in a parasympathetic state. All right. Other arm. Alrighty, 2 minutes on the left side now. Start here in about 2 seconds. Oh. Alright. Next ISO. Alright, next one. Going with here, probably the last upper body one, unless I decide to hang. I think we're just going to go with the bilateral curl. Maybe 2 minutes. I think that should be doable. I don't really ever do bicep curl ISOs, but it seems like it'd feel good, so let's do it. 2 minutes might be a lot, to be honest. So that might change. We might just do 2 sets of 1 minute to get optimal quality of ISOs. Same thing here, just trying to focus on my breathing. Don't want to be hyperventilating or tensing up too much. Just trying to convince my body that I'm not in a very stressful state. About 30 seconds left. Starting to sweat a little bit. Feel like I have electrical current going through my veins. It means it's working. Oh yeah. That's great. Alright, lower body ISO. So first, lower body ISO, more of a slow lower. I'm gonna do more of a slow lower. I'm gonna hit hamstring slow lower, couple ISO lunges, maybe some slow lower lunges after I hit an ISO, or maybe vice versa. Sorry about that bird. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go barbell like this, bilateral, slow lower RDL. Do that for 2 minutes. Might do one of those, might do 2 of those. Actually, I'll do 1 set of a 3-minute RDL slow lower, then we'll go into the ISO lunges. Oh, before I forget, if you're not familiar with slow lowers, check out Dak Performance. He's kind of the guy I got them from, but a short synopsis of what they are. Instead of, like I could do the lunge for example, instead of just an ISO lunge where I'm just sitting here for 5 minutes and as time goes on I'm failing down, I'm going to purposely pull myself down instead of resisting gravity. So what it would look like in the case of the lunge, I'm pulling myself down with this front hamstring, trying to get my front hamstring to touch my front calf, pushing down with my back glute, trying to get as deep as range of motion as possible for whatever the time is. Say it's 3 minutes, so by 3 minutes I reach here and then I'm up. The idea there is just to recover while you work. In the case of the slow lower RDL, it's going to be the same sort of idea. So RDL is a hamstring movement, so I'm going to relax my hamstrings. I'm going to contract my quadriceps and contract my psoas and pull myself down into position over the course of the 3 minutes. So let's get into it. So I'm starting, keeping my rhomboids engaged, keeping my shoulders back. Try not to round, so kind of compromise my position. So I'm going to put my feet out a little bit, bend my knees, contract my quads as hard as I can, and pull myself down with my hip flexors and my psoas while keeping my hamstrings relaxed. Yeah. As you can see, I stood up there very quickly after the completion of the 3 minutes. It's because theoretically, my hamstrings shouldn't be fatigued at all since I'm pulling myself down with my quads, my psoas, and my hip flexors. So as I reach that end range position, I technically should be able to stand up, extend my hips very fast with basically no fatigue in my hamstrings since they weren't actually working during that movement. So now we're going to go into an ISO lunge. All right, upon walking back to my tripod, I already decided that I'm not doing a slow lower. I'm just going to do, I think, 3 minutes, 3-minute ISO lunge each side, probably do the trick. So we're going to do that, and then we'll see what we do after that. So let's do this 3-minute ISO lunge with the 55-pound bar. I don't think I've ever done a loaded ISO lunge for this long, but let's send it. Big thing here is trying to maintain a close to parallel thigh angle. A lot of dickheads on social media that like to glorify other people. They'll say that if I'm here, it's not giving me the same benefit as if I were here. Who cares? Same idea, doesn't matter. It's really not that deep. The only thing I see inhibiting me from doing this 3 minutes is my grip. It's kind of a long time to hold this. There we go. Maybe that'll make it easier. I think my leg's parallel. If it's not, I don't really care. Not that deep. What I like to do on ISOs, especially ISO lunges, because I think they're probably the hardest thing for me to do, is find a focal point on the ground and just stare at it and try to focus on my breathing. Helps me pass the time efficiently and makes it hurt less. We're at a minute, by the way. What I like to do on ISOs, especially ISO lunges, because I think they're probably the hardest thing for me to do, is find a focal point on the ground and just stare at it and try to focus on my breathing. Helps me pass the time efficiently and makes it hurt less. We're at a minute, by the way. Alright, we dropped the weight because I'm a bitch. 2 minutes weighted, 1 minute unweighted. Go a little deeper. As you can see, I'm failing down just because of gravity. It's starting to hurt. Got about 10 seconds left. I'm going to try to pop out of this thing as fast as possible. Okay. Let's shake it out. Alright, so make it comfortable. Alright, so I just finished up that ISO lunge on the left side. And as I'm recovering from that, because my right leg feels like it's gonna cramp, let's talk. A good thing to note with ISOs, especially if you're just getting into them, if you've never done them before, they do suck a lot and they don't really get easier, physically at least. You just kind of learn how to overcome that pain and overcome it using your mind and just ignoring your body. Like, not ignoring your body, understanding what your body's saying, that it's in a stressful situation and being like, fuck you, this is easy, I could do a 5-minute lunge all day. Maybe pull out some Goggins quotes in your head and so forth. But yeah, I just wanted to say that during about the last 30 seconds of that body weight lunge at the end, I wanted to drop the whole time because it hurt and it was really hard. And regardless of what you see on social media, especially people in my sort of niche that I post in strength and conditioning and wellness and stuff like that, even if you can do a 5-minute push-up hold, 5-minute lunge, it's still really hard. It takes a lot out of you, it takes intention. It's not something you just kind of like tune out of. And what I was saying earlier, ignoring your body, that's probably the worst thing you can do. You don't want to ignore your body. You want to understand what's happening. You want to interpret the signals that your body's sending to you and basically be able to control your effort and your perception of everything. So the big thing I wanted to get at is you want to go into these ISOs, these slow lowers, basically any training, anything in your life, honestly, with intention. There's no point of just waltzing through it and just kind of going through the motions. That's bullshit. All right, so let's do the right lunge and then we'll see what we have after that. Right side lunge, let's get going. Warming up to the idea of talking to a camera, so might get a little more schizo as this video gets on. Might start ranting about stuff. There's also a rabbit watching me. I wish I could show you, but maybe he'll come into frame. All right, right leg, 2 minutes weighted, 1 minute unweighted. Fuck yeah. observe this rabbit while I do my lunge. Don't mind me. Place this down nicely. All right. My legs are numb. This is awful. Much worse than the last one. 10 seconds. Hell yeah. My leg's gonna give up. Alright. Let's do one more thing. Okay. I said that the bicep was going to be the last upper body, but I lied. So now we're going to do a little top push-up, bottom push-up action. I'm not really sure how this is going to work. I'm putting my feet on a glass table and then my hands on chairs. So we're going to start with a 1 minute top push-up, then we'll do a 1 minute bottom push-up. Too far. Oh, yep. Please don't break, table. I'm sure this looks sick. Hopefully I'm in frame. Whoa. Yeah. 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 That'll do. That was great. Alright, let's end this video. Yeah, that feels good. Alright. So, just finished up a little ISO session outside. I apologize for that dog, it's really annoying, I know. Yeah, so let's talk about my goals for this channel, what I want to do on YouTube. So first and foremost, if you stayed to this part of the video, you're a G. I respect you, thank you so much, appreciate the support. But yeah, so with this YouTube platform, basically just going to make longer format videos, more content, health, performance, sports, basically anything I find interesting. I'm not really doing this for any reason besides I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel and make dope ass videos, so I'm going to do that. Probably do a lot, or try to do a lot of what I just did, kind of walking through my workouts, the reasoning behind what I do and why I do it, maybe some vlogs, maybe some day in the lives, maybe challenges, stuff like that. Just documenting what I like to do every single day. Watching, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you got questions, ask them in the comments. If you got recommendations, I'll take any of them. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.